Why do we suffer? An age-old question, isn't it? This enigma of suffering is as old as humanity itself, a universal experience that unites us all in a shared understanding of pain and hardship. It's a question that has been asked, pondered, and sometimes even shouted into the void across generations and cultures. And yet, its complexity and depth remain. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. It slips through, evading concrete answers. This profound question has found its way into the sacred texts of many religions, including the Bible, where it takes on a myriad of dimensions. From the Garden of Eden to the trials of Job, suffering and its reasons are explored with a depth that acknowledges our shared human experience. In the Bible, we find some insights that might shed light on this question. In the pages of the Bible, we find stories of suffering, but also of hope and redemption. Let's take the story of Job, a man of great faith and righteousness. Job's life was filled with immense suffering, losing his wealth, his children, and even his health. Yet, despite his pain, Job never cursed God. Instead, he sought to understand his suffering. His story teaches us that suffering isn't always a direct result of our actions or a punishment from God. Next, we turn to the ultimate story of suffering, Jesus Christ. Jesus, the Son of God, was crucified on the cross, enduring unimaginable pain and suffering. His suffering was not for his own sake, but for the redemption of humanity. This story shows us that suffering can serve a greater purpose, a divine plan beyond our understanding. From a biblical viewpoint, suffering is often seen as a result of the brokenness of our world. When sin entered the world, so did suffering. It's an unfortunate yet inevitable part of human existence. Personal choices, too, play a role in our suffering. Our actions have consequences, and sometimes those consequences involve pain and hardship. But it's crucial to remember that while suffering is part of our current reality, it is not part of God's ultimate plan for us. God empathizes with our suffering. His heart breaks alongside ours, and he promises a future free from pain and sorrow. These stories provide us with a perspective, not necessarily a clear answer to our question. But suffering is not the end of the story, according to the Bible. This ancient text paints a picture of suffering as a transformative process. It's like a crucible, a container where metals are heated until they melt, allowing impurities to be removed. Through the fires of suffering, we too can be refined, our rough edges smoothed, our hearts softened. Yet we are not alone in this process. God, the divine empathizer, is right there with us. In the midst of our pain, our confusion, our despair, God is present. His heart breaks alongside ours, sharing in our suffering, lending us strength and comfort. Then there's the hope that twinkles in the dark corners of our trials. It's found in the promise of Christ's redemptive work. Just as a caterpillar endures the confinement of a cocoon to emerge as a butterfly, we too can emerge from suffering transformed, stronger, and more compassionate. In the end, suffering, according to the Bible, is not a part of God's plan, but a temporary state in our journey. So, why do we suffer? The Bible offers us a perspective, but the question remains complex. We've journeyed through biblical examples, delved into the origins of suffering, and explored its transformative potential. Remember, though suffering is a part of our existence, it doesn't write the entirety of our story. There's a transformative potential within it. And while the world may be broken, it's not beyond repair. I encourage you to share your thoughts, questions, or experiences in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Let's continue this conversation together.